Hi, Amber. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So I wanted to call you into this meeting. Was there something you wanted to discuss with me?
Yeah, I feel like lately I've just been really struggling with my self-confidence, and I feel like maybe you could help talk me through it.
Sure. Self-confidence in the workplace is something that everybody wants to have, so I'd be happy to help you about it. So first, I'm just going to ask you a couple questions. What outcomes do you think you want from this process of improving on your self-confidence?
I think with a higher self-confidence, I'll be able to be more successful in life and also just feel better about myself in general and just feel more like free.
Yeah, that's definitely something everybody wants in the workplace. So then, how do you feel that this process will help you?
So I feel like with a higher self-confidence and being more successful, no matter if it's in the workplace, if it's, relationship wise or, family wise, I think that it will help me conquer more obstacles more efficiently.
Yes, so a lot of things that we learn in the workforce, we can also apply to our everyday lives and our personal lives. So then, is there anything that you've tried in the past to help with your self-confidence? And if so, what were the results?
So what worked for me, I feel like in the most recent years was to really distance myself from negative people. Um, I feel like once I got away from the people that were also really down on themselves, I wasn't also having those same thoughts, as well as like an unhealthy environment. Um, I was in an abusive relationship, so I oftentimes felt like I had to be perfect for him. So not only in that relationship, but also at my job when I was a manager, I wanted everything to be perfect. I've always had like an OCD um, type disorder, along with anxiety and depression. So it's been really difficult to cope and um, just distancing myself from all those negative things in my life has made it a much easier process and has prevented me from thinking as negative as it was.
Yeah, so those are all definitely some very negative things that can really lower your self-confidence in the workplace and not only lower your mental and emotional well-being, but have a negative impact in your work and your team members as well. So some tips right now that I have for you for improving your self-confidence could be to, like you said before, distance yourself from those toxic people and cutting the negative self-talk, as well as in the workplace, you can boost your knowledge, learn more about a new skill or a skill that you have been learning, and know why practices or certain workplace procedures work the way you do. And like anything in life and your relationships, you want to practice and repeat. After every task or every interaction or relationship that you have, reflect upon that moment and ask yourself how you could improve for next time. And then similarly, just build your strengths on what you have and haven't been working on. Um, so those are some comments that I have so far in our discussion. And then, like you said, toxic people and really just trying to avoid that and avoid toxic thoughts in your workplace performance and with your overall improving your self-confidence all over in your life. What do you feel that there's anything holding you back from finding a way forward?
I think one of the biggest reasons I'm stuck is because I'm often thinking of the past and I didn't have like a great childhood growing up. So I have a lot of anxiety over that. And I often feel like, I'm trying to be a better person and not follow in my parents' footsteps and make their same mistakes. So, um, I just really hard on myself. I feel that if I learn, which I know that being perfect is not possible, but I think that just being reminded of that. And I also have like a really hard time asking for help from others. So I think if I was more inclined to ask for help, you know, not to take that as a weakness, you know, just would be hard. Would end up being less hard on myself about certain projects that do require help. But I end up taking on myself because I feel like I would be viewed differently if I did ask for help. So I think those are some reasons that I'm being held back.
Yes, I definitely understand everything that you're saying, and in all, again, all aspects of life, and especially in those first associate or your first time roles out of college, you definitely do struggle to ask for help because a lot of people see it as a sign of weakness. Um, are there any other obstacles that you feel that you face in achieving your goals and moving forward towards an improved self-confidence?
I think that, just feeling like I always have to be perfect. And I think college is one big thing that I felt like I needed in my life. That way I could have more self confidence. I think once I do graduate, I'll reap the rewards of that and do like get more of that self confident vibes and self efficacy. But that's pretty much like what I'm waiting for. Otherwise, it's just my daily like thoughts that I have a hard time controlling.
Yeah, that's definitely something that is seen in the workplace a lot too, as well. Do you have any suggestions or ideas as to how you may be able to address these problems in the future to not really to remove yourself from these negative thoughts or negative situations?
I think that if I were to feel like I need to push myself to be out of my comfort zone a little bit and ask for help when necessary. I also need to continue to remove myself from those negative situations um, and people and environments that just don't suit me. I have to let go of the past. Obviously, the more I dwell on that, the more negative thoughts I'm going to have. And I just need to be good enough for myself, not really anybody else at this point. So continuing to work on myself is important. Also, with that main goal of graduating and being able to go out and go on into my master's degree and get a successful job, I'll feel much more happier, I think, just to know that I think at this point, just to know that I even took the chance um, really makes a difference. But I think that I have contemplated getting like a therapist or talking to someone that's not really for me, but um, maybe that's something I need to work on is getting over that fear of realizing that sometimes people just need extra help.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something that almost everybody goes through at least one point or another within their lives. And it is really important. We are so, it's our human nature to just see the negative in everything. So we really need to focus on our successes, especially when we're in college or first going into our first role, is to see the little things and how they can really, they might seem little at the time, but they're founding the footsteps and your way forward into your future endeavors and your future careers. Um, so, based on what we discussed today, what would you say is your first step forward after our meeting to improve your self confidence?
Uh, just be better at doing things that I know will help me. Like I get inspirational quotes sent to me every day and I just don't open them. I just need to be more positive about myself rather than looking at all the flaws in myself. I should be thinking about all the positive things I do see in myself. Just focusing on those little things will help. Plus, like, again, continuing to remove myself from negative situations. I feel like I have done a good job of doing that right now. Unfortunately, we're stuck in quarantine, so it's hard to kind of get away um, and feel a little bit more at ease. This can definitely put yourself back in some of the negative parts that you don't want to be around, but I know this won't last forever, so I'm gonna think of it with the glass half full. Maybe start writing things down in a journal, about things that bother me and start to let those little things go. I think getting them out in the open instead of bottling them up will, help me also get over it.
Yeah, I definitely think those are all good ideas, and I have to agree with you there that it's kind of hard to see the positive in things with the unprecedented times that we're going through right now, but we all hope at least that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So I think those are all very good first steps or beginning steps to improve your self-confidence. And then my last question for you today, what will you do to make sure that you stay on track with this new plan that you're putting into place?
I think I just need to be cognizant of like what I'm thinking of. Um, when I start to have negative thoughts about myself, then I just need to remember the positive things. Not only being emotionally aware, I also need to kind of have someone set me straight. Like if someone is observing me, like a close family member or friend, if they feel like I'm being down on myself, then they should say, "Hey, listen, you're doing it again. You have a lot of great qualities," and they oftentimes remind me, but I don't usually talk about my feelings with any of my friends or family. So I think maybe doing more of that will help me help them find me more accountable for, feeling and acting that way.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Amber. I know personally I struggle with opening up and expressing my feelings and emotion towards others. I think many of us put up these walls where if we express our feelings, it shows a sign of weakness or instability. So it is just very important for us, especially during these times, to just be very open, understanding, and to really improve upon our self confidence in our emotional lives, professional lives, because really coming out of college and moving into these master's programs or first time positions, it's something that it will be very important and might stick out in comparison to others. So some things that I just want to wrap up here and reiterate and clarify. So you came in wanting to improve upon your self-confidence. So some last suggestions and recommendations that I have for you are, like we said before, and you said you've been trying to do, is to cut the negativity and the toxic people or relationships out of your life, because their emotions and their feelings, their mindset will heavily portray onto you. So it's important that we surround ourselves with positive people that are going to bring out the best in us. And then as we're moving into those first position roles or master's position, to boost your knowledge, know as much as you can about your subject matter or your practices that you're learning, your healthcare industry that you want to go into. And then just practice and repeat. After every task, conversation, interaction you have, kind of reflect on it and think what you did good and what you did bad, what you can improve upon for the next time or the next interaction that you do have. And then going off of that, building your strengths. We all know what we're good at, and sometimes we kind of neglect those strengths to work on our weaknesses, when one of our best things to do is to continue to improve upon those strengths by picking up new skills or embracing or putting more time into those skills to enhance our proficiency at our job and overall to boost our confidence. And then lastly, some important things to do are just to always ask questions. Like we said, we fear that asking questions is a sign of weakness or that we don't know what we're doing or who we're interacting with, when really asking questions is one of the best things that we can do. And then lastly, just to have fun with almost everything that you're doing in life and work, whether it's professionally, emotionally, in your social life, just really to have fun, take criticism with good humor, and really not to take yourself too seriously. And I think you have some really good footing moving forward, and I think you understand what you need to work on. And I think I've also given you some good ideas as to what to work on moving forward. And I really wish you luck, Amber, in your future endeavors and on this path to improving your self confidence. And I want to just let you know to feel free to reach out to me if you need any more help or have any questions on improving in your self confidence. Is there anything more I can address for you today?
No, I definitely agree. You brought up a lot of good points, and I will look to help hold myself accountable and push forward and use all the tips that we have discussed today in my future.
Great. Thank you, Amber.
Thank you.